I see Megan Weeder. So obviously, your brother did a fantastic job clearing that weapon, which still has the tape he put on it. The wide barrel, the muzzle flashes, sound, those were all our VFX people. That's the only VFX in the entire film. Um, but it's really not hard to make a gun safe on set if you know what you're doing. And Mike does. So nobody was ever at risk. He treated a pellet gun as though it was a real firearm, which is more than I can say, sadly, for a couple of other famous productions. And you get the same effect. So
Yeah.
I just want to point out the incredible importance of armorers and gun experts, and that you hire people who are experts and you trust them. That's all.
I want to jump in and say that he did a phenomenal job explaining and actually showing that the bullets that were in the revolver were completely hollow, could not fire, which I appreciated. This wasn't the only production I've worked on with a firearm, and it's rare to have someone take the time and actually be, I don't want to say excited, but eager to show everyone, cast, crew, that the firearm is safe no matter what.
Yeah, it's vitally important. A little aside, guy happens to be a brilliant attorney, fantastic hunter, and probably the best shot with put a gun, put a bow and arrow, put whatever. He'll hit whatever you want with the maximum distance it can do. He's the most brilliant shot I've ever seen. And he takes safety so seriously, that he was the obvious choice if he was willing to do it, and thankfully he was, and just did this fantastic job. And it lends the realism to it. And also the whole point about Chekhov's gun, which everybody forgets. If you do, the fact that we did a good job means everybody forgets that Allie has a gun in her purse pretty much by the end, even though you've seen it. Chekhov's gun's a bullshit rule. If it's a rule in cinema, then that tells you what's going to happen at the end. So don't follow the fucking rule, because then you know what's going to happen. But there are two gun myths that I hear, and I'm a gun owner, and Mike's a gun owner. That you can only stop a bad person with a gun if you have a good person with a gun. And if they didn't have a gun, they could use a hammer or a knife or whatever. Yeah, if Mike Weeder, our firearms expert, is the good guy with the gun, absolutely. He's got the best training in the world. He's a crack shot, cool under pressure, knows how to use any firearm. But some random person going to buy a gun is not going to stop anybody. Sadly, law enforcement professionals have proven that. And then the whole, well, if somebody doesn't have a gun, they just use a knife or a hammer. If that old man takes a hammer out of his pocket at the end, Sully kills him. Sully and Holston tackle him, and he's dead. The gun gives him the advantage. Sully goes into protection mode, or I'm sorry, Holston goes into protection mode. Sully's dead. So that's like my political message. And it's not even an anti-gun message. It's an anti-stupidity message, which is training and safety are okay, and encouraged, and that should be fine. And don't rely on some 58-year-old dude who managed to walk into a hardware store that happened to sell guns and bought one. Don't rely on him to protect the school. That's all I'm suggesting. So that's my only well, there's several political messages, I guess, but those are the two that are most prevalent in the film.
Megan, do you have a question?
Well, I really liked in one of the projections, there were these skulls, and the one skull had eyes. Is that something you made? Or
no,
did someone
there's a guy, David Nicolo, who makes props for films. He's based out of Arizona, but we looked at pictures to see what realistically certain injuries, if the skulls were lacking skin, what they would look like.
Yeah.
Burned or skinned, and they would have eyes essentially, and what the eyes, and then he designed those. I still have them. So we have the burned, we have the one left out in the sun, we have the recently skinned. They're all here. So he made those. I made them smoke by putting dry ice, like taped inside the lack of throat, essentially. But then it sizzles up for the one that was blowtorched, which for that it looked good initially, but I didn't like that we didn't have the skull burning, so I used a ceramic skull. Brandon knows this because she edited all these things I shot. I coated it with refried beans, tomato paste, and then put prosciutto over it so that we could singe
really
it with a blowtorch. It smelled good. I didn't try it, but it smelled good. Also, if anybody else is distracted by the dog behind Jordan or not, I'm just saying I am, and I can't not see it. And lovely, lovely dog.
She is currently snoring, so.
Well, I can't unsee it. It's beautiful. But yeah, we did all that, and we used pork mixed. We mostly used different types of fake blood for the crossbow bolt and for the meat that was falling on the bed as it was being burnt off, which we were really burning. We used pork loin, Caro syrup. Like, I think I did 4 parts red, 1 part green food coloring with the Caro syrup. So you pull it out and it gives a good blood look. But terrible to clean up. It's coming through the grout now. In the 3 layers of grout is red. I've given up. It's just red grout. It's red wall.
Memory now, forever.
So
it's there.
So shot at your place?
The kill room is in our basement, and the Trisha's art studio is the same room as the kill room. We did the kills first. I thought 5 coats of primer would get rid of the blood on the wall. It didn't. So that's why we put all the paintings in the way of the wall. And covered the floor with drop cloths and stuff. So
I've been to your house several times and still haven't seen the stains on the wall. I haven't been down there.
You can't not see it. I'll send you. I will go take a picture of it when we're done. The worst part is, we had somebody come in because we wanted to get the electrical system redone, and they had to go into that room. And there's an inevitable explanation that's like, okay, there's a lot of skulls and there's feet and stuff they're all fake. That's for a movie. There's awards, see, for the movie. It's not real. Didn't happen. It's okay. But every time somebody goes back there, I forget that there's like mannequins and skeletons and blood seeping through the grout. It's a whole thing.
Didn't you have a bloody mattress on the corner of your street or something at one point? I forget what that was.
We did have to throw it away. Zena convinced me that I shouldn't leave it exposed to the curb, that I should wrap it up. So I'm like, that's a good idea. But it was kind of springy, so I used chains and a tarp, which looked far worse. So I put it in the fabric dumpster bag thing. It still didn't look good. But I eventually threw enough things on top of it that we figured the trash guy wouldn't notice the chained up bloody mattress. Our neighbors know what we do. They're fine with it, but other people less so. Yeah, we have ordered blood from Hollywood, and the one they did not handle with care, and so we got blood over the packages of our block, and I didn't realize for hours because I just thought it was a really cool, shipping packaging from the blood people. Like, of course you'd make the thing bloody. Then we learn our neighbors have blood all over their packages. We're like, oops. But it's still better than CG. Use real fake blood. It's good.
Oh yeah, better. For sure. I have a question for the editor.
Genius.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was pretty much about the process. It's
thank you.
Each character, did you try to edit the same way? who had the most takes, who was the most difficult, and why. You know, like sometimes when it's just like on one character, you do like 3-4 takes, and then with the editing bay, you're like, which take do I take?
Well, what's kind of wonderful about how this film was shot, we had a tree, a camera tree in the middle of the circle where we had two cameras on either side. One was filming the actors, the other was filming the group of three, or whoever was across from them. And each of those takes, we just kind of like went around like a clock. Except for I think one instance, which we had a technical issue on, all of the actors' takes were one take. So the first time they did it was what you saw.
Wow.
And so all I had to do was take Jordan's notes, our script supervisor, and plug in the main actor and then the person across from them, and then just go back and forth on what the best reactions were. And then from there, Jordan, when I was directing some of the projection monologue scenes at one house, which actually ended up being our set for the next film Immersion, and we filmed it in the bathroom. When I was directing that and getting those shots, Jordan was over at the house. And Bill, I think you were doing more of the projections or something at Allie's or somebody. But Jordan was over at the other house getting reactions of everyone else reacting to like every chair, you know, going around being like, oh, how do I feel about this character? And getting all those like small reactions that I would slip in throughout the whole film so that you don't forget about someone who's there. But yeah, every take was one take. And so we shot in order. So honestly, it was like one of the easiest edits I've ever had to organize.
We'll never shoot in chronological order again.
Never.
It's never going to happen.
A lot longer because it was out of order.
Of course, but like it was planned a certain way, and then you trust. It should be a collaborative process where you trust people, and you give clear and accurate instructions, and you know, like Zena minimizes her role all the time. She was very vicious about immersion. When we get to that, that's a whole other thing. Vicious. But she helps with casting. She got us the locations, set design, every possible thing to make production work. That's what a producer does. That's what she did. But for this, you know, we were always going to get action and reaction at the same time. So I had a Studio Titan built a special stand that could accommodate two cameras at the same time in multiple different angles. Jordan's script supervising had a method that was pretty much unbeatable. So he's taking these meticulous notes in the script. Mind you, this is during the strike. I can't touch the script. Like and I was very strict about it. Jordan and Miranda were with me on this. I didn't go near the script just in case not even a notation. So Jordan's like, this is where the coffee cups were. This is where this is. This was the best, you know, the best angle. This is the best reaction angle. This is the best action angle. All these notes are being meticulously made. And then the director trick was, you know, the people are nervous on set, and the people that were shooting, you know, in the group, first, before they shot their projection scenes, I would just say, don't worry about it. Because if whatever you get wrong, you can do 10 takes if you want in the projection room with Miranda, and she'll make you look great. So don't worry about it. Just this is gimme. Now, if they were doing the other way, if they were shooting the projection first, I go, hey, don't worry about the projections. You're going to go into you'll nail in the set with the other actors. Don't worry. We got people. Yeah, we're good. Don't worry about it. So, you know, between everybody just kind of working together, getting the action reaction shots, and this idea of everybody felt free, it left kind of, with us doing our job, it left the performers in a situation where all they had to focus on was their performance, and knowing they had that, you know, that extra chance. But when you see it played out, and you see it edited, and you see like Trisha's segment or anybody Heaven, and it goes like projection to the thing and there's no change, or with Dan at the end where there's no change, it's such a fluid speech. That's what allowed for that. So for them to be able to just do their performance kind of seamlessly.
Well, what I want to add on to that too with the projection scenes. What thing I'm grateful for that Bill allowed me to have the opportunity to do was to direct those projection scenes because I knew what I wanted to do editing wise with it going in, and had kind of like I wanted this because I hadn't seen all the projection images, so I'm like I want this image on this line if I can get that actor to do it, and so I would sit there and direct them and let them do their monologue and then fast forward and rewind on my computer the projection, so that I could get the exact moment. We would do like each line a couple of different times. I was with each actor maybe 20 minutes to half an hour, and we just got them all done. And it was like, it was cool because there were like moments where I'm like, great, I got the thing I wanted. And then there were things where like it happened on accident. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Let's do that. Like there's a moment with Trisha where her projection self and her real self in front of the projection both look up and then look down at the same time. That was on accident. That happened, and me and Jordan, whoever else was there, Bradley, our assistant camera, and Christopher, we all just kind of looked at each other like, so it was really fun to put all that together after the fact too, of like having been there and seen the performance live and then be able to just kind of slip it in, and like the actors did the job for me, really. Like all I did was just put it together.
It was also really cool having an editor on set. I like to think my notes are easy to understand, and I color block my scripts, and each color means, anything from set design to makeup, to props, and then actions. So everything's color coded, but having the editor there, it was just a peace of mind for me, and it really helped with communication to be like, hey, you're seeing how I'm blocking out and lining up my script in real time. um and that was just, it was seamless. So I'm really grateful that you were able to be there too.
Thank
Same.
you.
And of course, she was there for the immersion since she was the star of it,
Yeah.
which helped.
So that's my next question. I think I know the answer, but it's why did you shoot 2 movies in 7 or 8 days?
I will answer that question extremely honestly. First of all, I loved immersion. Xena read it and she said, it's good, but it's my least favorite script you've written. And she's a producer at this point, and she goes, I've booked multiple locations. If you want to shoot immersion, you have to, you get 1 day break and then you're shooting it. Otherwise, it's not getting shot. And I said, okay. She goes, can you regroup in a day and then shoot this movie? And I go, I think so. She goes, then that's when it's being shot. So cast it, let's get it done. So she's a vicious, she's my loving wife, an amazing woman, but as a producer, she is vicious. And then once it's done and she sees it, she's like, oh, it's actually really good. And so typical producer, like, oh, this is a piece of shit. Oh no, it's really good. Actually, now let's see it. It's cool.
Hold on,
That was it.
I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure I understand. She said it's a great script, but it's my least favorite.
of mine.
Yeah, and I give you 4 days.
She gave me 4 days.
I know, but I don't get the.
She's like, if you're committed, if you believe in it, then you can shoot it in 4 days. If you believe in it.
So we booked 2 locations. One was for group, one was for immersion, and we all stayed at both locations and shot them all.
I was wondering if it was because because I think we all have like a job on the side. I mean, movie is more the side thing, but we all have like a primary income. I was wondering if it was because you want try to cram those 2 shoots
no,
to stick in your vacation days.
No, she was really into these other 2-3 scripts I have set out, and she's like, we got to book it for X number. So, like a real, like a true producer, this is a money game. So we have these locations, and this movie's worth shooting, so you need to shoot it. It's now or you're not shooting it. We have people, we have the set, we have everything. This fits your script. You need to shoot the movie.
Okay, now I understand it.
Yep. Yeah, like a typical producer.
Is it something you guys will do again or never again?
I would do it tomorrow.
Okay. not
Let me explain.
Miranda is
Let me explain. No, Miranda would do tomorrow too because she's brilliant. And Jordan's a genius. And Megan, now that we've finally connected, she's in. So it's set is home. I don't know how else to explain it. And with Miranda, I thought of her initially for the lead role in Immersion. My issue was you look at her and you talk to her. If you know her, you're like, yeah, you don't believably have a 15-year-old son. That was my big issue. And Zena's like, well, no, of course she doesn't. She couldn't have a 15-year-old. So eventually I'm like, Miranda, my issue is you cannot believably have a 15-year-old son. And she goes, well, that's not true. I have friends, actors that are my age that have played moms and this and that. And she goes, I can channel mom. I can believably have a 15-year-old son. Don't worry about it.
Well, what you actually asked me is, do you think you can play a 32-year-old mom? And I was like, well, I'm 32, so I bloody well hope so.
That was basically, and then we called action. She scared the shit out of me for 4 days. I was very triggered. I thought of my own evil mother, and I was scared. And that was, I'm not scared of ghosts or any of the gore that we do because that's just fun and good times. But Miranda scared the hell out of me as a mom. My God, I think she traumatized the poor boy playing her son.
Oh.
I haven't heard from him since.
My mom has now seen the film as well, and I did tell her, I was like, I channeled you through the film, and she's like, I think I'll take that as a compliment. So I hope you guys all get to see Immersion too.
Oh yeah, we'll send it.
Yeah.
Is it on festival too? The second one?
Oh yeah. It's doing stuff.
Gotcha.
Miranda's won Best Actress for it a few times. Best Editor for it a few times, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think in Florence I won both, and I was like, thanks. Cool.
I won a Best Female Filmmaker award. That is they know it's me. But
yeah. You can give it to Zena. She's the main.
Hell yeah, she gets it. It's on her IMDb. She's fine.
Which country was it? Which country gave you the best female?
I believe it was Germany.
Okay.
But we're all filming. I mean, producers, editors. We're all there. They read the credits. They're aware.
For one of my movie, we got Best Actress with the wrong name of the actress. She just had the one line as a voiceover. She won Best Actress.
Fantastic performance.
Are you guys even reading anything? It was like,
that's a great reading. That's a great line reading.
Like
slap that name on it and engrave it. Send the trophy. Thank you.
Well, Miranda got Best Actor, which I actually appreciate because actor is the right term. But if you're gonna, give it that, the funny thing is there was no other Best Actor.
Yeah.
Like there were Best Supporting Actor, and some man won that, but Miranda won Best Actor. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, Trisha, who plays Trisha in Group, the poet. She actually played my sister in Immersion as well, and she's won a Best Supporting Actress for Immersion as well, and the Best Actress for Group.
Yes, and nominated for, I don't know what she's nominated for this weekend. I have no idea. People are nominated for stuff this weekend, so it's good.
Well, looks like a great team.
It is a very good team, Josh. Yeah. We kind of know what we're doing weirdly.
Absolutely.
Well,
and by the way, speaking of Trisha, hold on. I will. The next one we shoot, and obviously this will be written backwards, but she designed the poster for Fetish.
Nice.
So that'll be exactly what you think it might be about.
Well, I'm gonna watch it.
I would hope so.
What did you want to say, Miranda?
No, I just wanted to hear from Sebastian and Megan if any other thoughts about Group or anything too. We kind of got on an Immersion kick.
Oh yeah,
it's all the same.
Yeah. Like I said, it was my first watch. I need to go back and watch it. I think a few more times. There's so much in there. I think it's awesome. I think you all did such a great job. The audio is awesome. The acting is great. The music is fabulous. The lighting, and the editing. Oh my God, there's a lot in there. Holy moly. it's so nice to like sit on the other side of things and listen to, you know, the behind the scenes of the process and all of that. So I really appreciate it all. Thank you so much for sharing like all the intimacy behind what goes into it.
You should listen to Miranda's commentary. It's included in this somewhere.
Oh, I did see that. I'm gonna watch that cut.
Yeah, she crushes it. The
Yeah,
editing's amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Megan, are you a filmmaker too, like a director or an actor? Or...
I'm sorry, my dog's hacking. What was that?
Are you a filmmaker too, like an actor or a director? Or
I'm an actor, yeah, and
Oh,
I
terrific.
started in theater, and then now I'm doing a little bit more film, TV, and
Oh, that's terrific.
when it comes along and the timing works out.
Oh, well, nice
And
to meet you.
where are you
Well,
located?
it's going to work out soon. She's right near me, my damn armor and attorney. This is his sister.
Oh,
He
no.
hides her from me.
Yeah.
Don't
So
worry. We're
Southeast
Where-
PA.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
where are you guys?
I'm in
we're
like just
outside
outside of Reading.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. You're in
We are in
California.
the shadow of the pagoda featured in the, nice way to say this, terrible M. Night Shyamalan film, The Last Airbender. Literally, we have to look at the reminder of that every day.
Wow. That's beautiful, though. You're lucky.
It is. Well, now Meg and I are going to hang out more than Mike and I. I know you're listening, Mike. I can see Weeder on there. I know that's you.
I went to Pennsylvania once. I forgot about this. Where is
It's
Bam Margera from?
Westchester.
Jesus Christ.
That's where I went. And then somebody drove me to Philly to take a train to New York City. But I got out of the train at Newark.
That's a big mistake. That's a rookie mistake.
You go on the train. You go on a train and you hit the speaker. The next stop is Newark. I'm like, what? Newark. I'm like, okay, I guess it's New York. All right. And I'm like, the only one getting out of the train. I'm like, am I really the only one going to New York City? Like, what the fuck?
I'm impressed you're alive.
I lived for 12 years in New York and went to Newark once on accident, never again.
I think it's for everybody by accident.
Great view of New York from Newark, though. A great view.
Don't turn. Just keep New York City in your.
Get back on the train. That's the best thing you can do in that situation.
Okay, so that's where I went in Pennsylvania. But yeah.
Good story.
Good old days.
Hey, Miranda, too. I thought you did a wonderful job. I teach a couple classes at this college near where I live. So I finished class and got home as soon as I can. So I don't spoil the film for me, guys. And you haven't so far. So but if you have to, please don't do it on my account. Because but yeah, I really love the editing, and I love that you were on set editing. Like, as an actor, we never get to see the editors, right? Like, they live in this other world. And same with, like, I wish composers could come on set too, because we never get to meet them until the premiere or something. But I love that you're on set too, because like you could do reshoots or little things too. It's just so handy. And then you get to be a part of the fun too, right? Of like meeting everyone and like, yeah. So really good job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun too, because we filmed both immersion and group right next to each other. It just kind of made sense for me to just be there. But now after having just done that, because Bill, I asked, I think randomly if I could just come to the group set, because I wasn't able to go to the first film we did like a year ago. And so I was just there and he put me to work. Like I said, I found out, I think the day before, that I was going to be directing the projection scenes.
I said you're second unit director.
I was like, okay.
By the way.
So being there was a lot of fun, just because I was there already, because I was going to be there for immersion as an actor. But yeah, I think the most difficult thing for that was just to be like, Bill would come over and like, I need to speak to the editor. And I was like, turn my actor brain off and then talk editing and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, I got to go back to acting. But after having done that with group, I want to be on every set now, even if it's not with Bill or with Bill's films or whatever. I would, as an editor, I think being on set is such a benefit for what you're doing later.
if you can do it, like if it makes sense, it depends on where you're shooting. But like if there's any way possible, like I think it's the best thing in the world to
I mean,
include
I think
editing.
it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's great that you could go on set, because every time I try to work with editors, because normally I edit my movies, because same, you shoot it, you write it, so you know how to edit it. But when you can't edit, you give it to somebody who was not on set, not in the mood, or like didn't get the atmosphere of the shoot, or like what was going on. Then it's like, here, a hard drive. Good luck, my dude.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you see a first cut, and you're like, that's not what I shot. What is going on? It's
Well,
not, the vibe was boring. There's something off.
That's
it's so weird.
that's a great point. Like for me, when I first sought out an editor, because I'm not technologically, using the programs. That's not my skill set. I understand that, but I am a good communicator, and I knew if I had a talented person, that it would work out. I knew I wanted a woman to edit my film, because there's an objectivity and there's a different life perspective. That there's something that I might not see nuanced, writing female characters and things like that. I could fuck it up, and Xena could be generous to me if I fuck it up, as because she's the first one that reads every script. The one that wouldn't talk to me for 20 minutes after reading my script sweetener because she felt betrayed. But nevertheless, like Spielberg had Verna Fields for Jaws, and Tarantino had Sally Menke for his films. George Miller, sorry, used his wife to edit.
Yeah, Thelma
They do visited
Schoonmaker.
editors,
Yeah, Thelma
Yes.
for Martin Scorsese. He always has her on set.
Yes,
And
it creates the dichotomy. You need
Yeah.
that voice there,
But
and
she can also give you a perspective sometimes, or like not she, but whoever's editing can be like, hey, it'd be really cool if you could just get this little shot here too. And you're already on set, you're already on location, and it's really easy to grab a little thing that
she
have a
killed my
seat.
babies.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
immediately. And that was the thing. Like, there was a scene in the Stephen King short we did where I was so focused on how brilliant Halston Mann's performance was that I wanted that take. And she goes, it's not the right take. You're like,
wow.
yeah, he killed it, but he killed it in every take.
Right.
So the one you love, other people didn't kill it. And you did a single take. We did single cam on a track, 5 minute take. She's like, you're sacrificing bad performances to get that take. Like, you're going to bring those in to get the great one. And it was that kind of thing, like her, putting it in, but she also reads the scripts, understands the characters. Her being on set and then me, sort of shoving her into a second unit direction role, is she's got the feel for it. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all our actors, all our cast and crew know what they're doing. And you got to have faith in it. It's a trust process, the casting process, everything like that. It's all about this trust. Like, Jordan comes in and he's this incredible, like, brilliant force of a person. He recommends me an actor we use in immersion, and she's fantastic. He recommended her. That's trust with him. Now we have somebody we trust in a different film. It's that kind of thing. And she sees the process. So, like, she's picturing it from an editing point of view when she's not doing those projection scenes, which is why Jordan and I, and she and Jordan got together, and she's like, it would be great if we got facial reactions on the last day going in motion and audio reactions going in motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, that is a fantastic idea. I need to go and block the shooting scene, the gun scene. And that's the team. Like, yep, you're right. But everybody knowing what needs to be done, that means that somebody who's already fucking insanely talented editor knows what the tone of the movie is and knows what needs to be done. And it makes for that. I would definitely prefer the editor be on set because there is that vibe, there is that feel, and you have that compartmentalization skill that the director's an overarching thing, but when we could stop forcing to be a second unit director, um, um, and be on set, she was able to see that, and Jordan, of course, was so brilliant, big picture, but also the little details, that it is a collaborative process that I think allows everybody to do the best version of their job they could do, and let the actors act. Meanwhile,
and in the meantime, also make your job even better too. Like make you even better. Like we all kind of bring out the best in each other, and that's what I love too. Is like someone a grip. He's there, or they're there and they're listening too, and they sometimes have an idea, right? Like it's a great idea. You're like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Like that, yeah, everyone is invested when everyone is invested like that, and having even the editor invested, like that's to me, there's nothing greater on earth, that I'd rather be, it's so much, it's more than
well,
fun.
it's the actors that are exposing themselves and putting themselves out there, and having that emotion and putting forth that talent. It's such a fucking colossally impossible magic job. And if you can manage to create the behind the scenes filmmaking process in such a way that allows the actors to strictly focus on that and be who they need to be and have the autonomy and own those characters, you get these incredible performances. And part of that, of course, is trusting your casting director. I mean, I'm not going to say who, but there are two actors that were cast where I was vetoed. Right. It's me, Xena, and our casting director, Chris Rivera. And I'm like, I like this guy. And Chris and Xena are like, no. It's them. And I'm like, okay, democracy, you guys are right. So 2-1. That's what you do. Like you have people on and you listen to them. If you trust somebody enough to hire them, you listen to them. Yeah. And you trust their instincts. And that's the beautiful thing, is to have these people around whose instincts you totally and completely trust. Like Miranda's edited all my movies. She's editing all my movies going forward. Like that's just it. It's her and Brad. It's this team. And I prefer they both be there. Brad's a magnificent cameraman. And to have them both on set shooting the movie with me, from a technical side, script side, occasionally from an assistant director or second unit director side, it makes that edit so much more cohesive, natural, and everybody's a team, and that's what it should be. It's like when you step aside as a director, you realize everybody you brought on is trying to make your vision a reality. They're actually all trying to make your vision work. If you just realize that, it's a pretty simple process. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a fight with Miranda. In character, she was very angry with me at times. In character, very angry. But as an editor,
I think with
between takes,
I think with the amount of anxiety I had in immersion and the amount of short time we had to shoot, I bumped heads with you. But I think that was because I was just anxious as character.
She was, but just to be clear, we never fought. She expressed the thing. Oh, no. I took the thing and I'm like, let me fix that. That's cool. But she's in a character that's going through some shit. And she also just assistant directed and edited, this other film. So it's totally okay. And the script supervisor role is very important. Jordan taught us how it's done. He also taught us how to raise a stuffed dog. Wait, there are 2 dogs now. I see them both. Sorry, it's very distracting. Adorable.
Yeah, the 2-month-old puppy just woke up and is wreaking havoc. But I would like to jump in and say, like, I cannot say this enough. Our actors were just so talented and wonderful to work with. I was amazed that, like, throughout directing, you work with people. I love to work with people who have all sorts of experience, even if it's their first time on set. But working with these actors, there were some that when we were doing the pickup shots, by the time I was like, okay, you notice it was, you notice that she's kind of looking at you. She might suspect you, or you think she suspects you. You start to tear up. I didn't even finish tear up before a tear was rolling down his cheek. And I was like, how do you do that? It was just but the actors really did. They knew the film, they knew their script, and they could pretty much like predict what we wanted out of it. Tommy also self-corrected during some of the pickup shots, and I remember he stopped and was like, "That was too much," and I was like, I mean, you said it first. So, and the second time it was perfect what we were looking for. But it was just they had so much insight on their craft, and that was just amazing to see and really valuable as well.
Absolutely. It's like a soft hand directing approach. That's all I'll say. Cast everybody, prep, trust. It's your character. This is your role. Bring anything you want to it. You know the script, you know the story, you know the tone we're trying to go for. And I trust you to do it. And then when we're on, like, it's all right, we got technically, this is the lens we need, this is the angle we need, this is this. And I think the worst thing you can ever do to an actor personally is here's what you're feeling in the scene. No, if you've cast them and they have the script, they have that. They fucking know. But once in a while it's like, okay, this is abstract, but this is what I would compare it to. Or with, the case of poor Marcus Watson, who plays Matt in the movie, the guy who goes first, that's based loosely on a law school story for me. So I took him outside. I'm like, this is what actually happened. Put your mindset in that. Also, you don't give a shit about any of these cases. You just don't. You don't. And then once that was established, that's it. But it's all like everything's planned. All this work is done. Is the performance right? Do this. Change a little bit of this in projection. Change a little bit of this in barely. Everybody knows that everything is set. Everybody comes to set fully prepared. That's the ideal situation. Immersion was different. We had to adjust to a lot of things. I think that's my best directing job because I'm just pulling out every stop to make everybody feel happy and that everything's good to go, even though I'm like, well, this isn't gonna work. This rain. We're dead. So then I show up and be like, we're great. This is what
We
we're shooting
figured it
first. I need you to cut that boy's hair. And we did. Stuff like that. It's just you got to adjust to the shoe, and you have these people that have their skill set, but it's all on, it comes back on you. It's why it's like if you watch a great movie, or I'm sorry, if you watch a terrible movie with
Why
that is adorable. See, this is Joss's daughter, who is bilingual, right, Joss? Or did he mute?
He's muted.
He did. She's bilingual and she is adorable. But you have to kind of fake it and trust the people you're there. I mean, you project confidence and you let the actors do their thing. Whatever the anger, they're the ones that are out there. And it's why, like, if you see a bad movie with great actors, and you're like, that performance isn't good, that is not the actor. It's never, I swear to God, it's never the actor. Somebody else is inept. That's what happened. There's never been a bad DiCaprio performance, a bad Brad Pitt performance, on down the line street. And if you've seen one, frankly, there's never been a bad Tom Cruise performance. So if you've seen one, yeah, that's somebody else. Like, a bad movie with great actors means, yeah, studio interference, bad producer, bad DP, bad director, terrible writer is most common, and the Weinsteins. Usually a very good indicator of why a film is bad. That's just my thought. Poor Joss. His daughter's adorable. She has started school. She didn't have the common courtesy like my daughters of bringing back multiple illnesses the first week to kill their father.
Oh no,
But
I'm sorry.
I am dying. I will drive to Toronto tomorrow. I will infect Michael Lake, Canadian national treasure. I will give a haphazard interview, and we'll do what we need to do.
Well, thanks for watching too, guys.
I see Weeder on here. I know that's your brother. Megan, we have to. I got like 3 fucking scripts for you. Wait, how many do I have? 4? There's 4 or 5 registered
Fetish,
ones.
Sweetener, the other one with
Encore.
Encore, thank you. I think that's it.
Babe, what's the other one? Oh no, red, white, and green.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
Oh yeah, Run, or is it? What do I call it? Run. Yeah. Bernie, my slasher, I had to write. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. She knows more about my work than I do. But Megan, like you've seen Miranda, obviously this is you want to work with.
You guys are awesome. Yeah. Oh,
Even despite my cold medicine champagne wine mix.
Oh,
It's
my brother
really weird.
says, he says, I stay in the shadows like a true armorer.
Listen, I gotta say, this, like, her brother, first of all, it taught me how to shoot a crossbow and a compound bow, and how to like field dress a deer very well, so that I can do it on my own. I remember having this joyous, this like beautiful Zen moment where these fox, mom fox and few baby foxes were playing around me in the woods, and the foxes were running over my feet. And it was this beautiful moment for me, having this little fox come up and play on my ankles. And I relay it to your brother, and he goes, well, that's not playing. She's teaching him how to fucking kill a rabbit. And I said, what do you mean? And then he plays a little rabbit thing, and then they're doing the same zippity thing back and forth. And he goes, oh yeah, you were just another tree in the way of them playing the kill the rabbit game and break its neck. And he has a way of saying things to take away the sentimentality that I possess, and I appreciate that. But also, he can shoot like a dime out of the air with a shotgun from 150 yards. So he was right. I'm just saying. But a genius armor, and he does stay in the shadows, and a great attorney. He's covering for me in court tomorrow, so I can go to Toronto and promote the film, and I appreciate that very much.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, I think we're gonna have to end it. My daughter is getting crazy. I don't know if you saw her running in the room. She's screaming at me, Daddy! So
I didn't see her, but I appreciate her.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for showing up. It was great. Great Q&A. Absolutely. 2 things. If you guys are very bored, the 25th of September is a premiere in Las Vegas. So you better be very bored, okay? Just fly to Vegas. There's a movie premiere. It's my last movie. Sebastian is in it. And the 28th, if you're even more bored, fly to Ventura, California. It's the day where for my film festival.
We're in Vegas because I have friends and family who live out there. I can tell them to go.
Sure. Are they in the movie industry or something, or just
Some friends are, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, there we go.
Have a look.
Also, the movie Shackled. Just gonna highly recommend that. Directed by a friend of mine. And,
Thank you.
I think
Thank you.
it's very well done.
Thank you.
And
We will keep you posted. We'll send some emails and stuff. You will see what's going
Yeah,
on.
please do.
good
I'm a
thing.
big fan of Shackled and
Oh, yeah?
the others.
Nice. Thank you.
Great fucking movie. But, yes, actually, this is a pro Shackled household, but we are fans of other films as well. Of course, of Joss, who does a fantastic job, and can't wait for him to sponsor me to film a movie in France. So I'm very excited about that.
There we go. There we go. Let's go shoot over there. Let's go.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Let's
Nice
keep each
to
other
meet you.
posted. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Get my
thanks,
number, Megan.
guys.
Megan, I'm texting you
Yeah.
that number right now.
Great job. Great film,
Perfect.
guys. Keep
Thank
up the
you.
awesome work.
Bye.
Have a good night.